welcome. You're watching News 9 Live with me, Neha, Khanna, and joining me today is a special guest. We have with us Bansuri Swaraj, who's making her electoral debut in these Lok Sabha elections. She's the BJP's Lok Sabha candidate from the New Delhi constituency. Bansuri, thank you so much for joining me here. Lovely to have you.
Thank you. It's a pleasure being on your show.
Thanks so much, Bansuri. Let me ask you, I have a whole list of questions for you. Now, as I mentioned, you're making your debut. You're a lawyer. Now you've made this transition into politics. You're BJP's Lok Sabha candidate from New Delhi. How big an opportunity and a challenge is it?
I'm very grateful for this opportunity, and I must confess that this is not my ticket. This ticket belongs to every single Karyakarta of Bharatiya Janata Party. And regarding what kind of a challenge it is, I'm plan on being absolutely relentless as far as hard work is concerned. Having said that, now that it's been 25, 26 days into campaign, I can tell you that the people of Delhi have such unwavering faith in the guarantee of the Modi administration, in the vision of a Viksit Bharat, which has been articulated by our Honorable Prime Minister, that it is not a challenge, because when you go on the ground, you see that kind of love and affection and adoration that people have for him, that kind of unwavering faith that people have in the vision of Viksit Bharat. And I think, and that is why Ab Ki Baar 400 Par, it is a pledge, it's a sankalp, it's not a slogan.
It's not a slogan, it's a pledge. Very interesting. Bansuri, you know, we can't not talk about your mother. Of course, politics runs in your blood. You are the daughter of the late Sushmas Legacy. She, I think, it is safe to say, was one of the tallest leaders that this country has ever seen, one of the tallest leaders of the BJP, a very popular foreign minister, former Delhi chief minister. She must have been a huge inspiration while you were growing up. Is she the primary reason you're in politics today?
No, no. Politics does not run in my blood. Nationalism runs in my blood. A will to serve the people runs in my blood. And one of the reasons why I actually chose law is because you make a difference to somebody's life on a daily basis. I'm in litigation. And by the grace of God, this is my 17th year running in the profession of law, primarily in litigation. And you see that no day is same. You know, you end up making a difference on a daily basis to people's lives. I think politics just amplifies that. It gives you the means to actually help and make a difference to a larger group. As a lawyer, you might be doing it for one individual client or one family. When you are in politics, it just gives you the means to amplify that good. That's all.
Very interesting. Politics doesn't run in my blood, nationalism does. But you know, talking about your mother's legacy, you have very big shoes to fill, some might argue. You know, I would put it this way. Carrying forward Sushma ji's legacy, do you believe it is a blessing? Is it a challenge, or is it both? And are you concerned that there would be these comparisons between mother and daughter?
I'll be very honest. I am so grateful to God that I am Sushma Swaraj's daughter. I must have done some major tapasya. I must have done some really good karma to have her as my mother. Because I'll tell you, she was a wonderful mother. There was no one. I know हर किसी को अपनी माँ बहुत पसंद है. मेरी वाली बहुत खास थी. मेरी वाली बहुत खास थी. She was my best friend. I mean, there was no secret from her. She was my co-conspirator in life. Regarding legacy, I'll be very honest. It is something that maybe is a burden in other people's eyes. I'm not here to carry her legacy. I'm here to be the best version of Bansuri Swaraj. Sushma Swaraj equipped me to actually be the best version of Bansuri Swaraj. I'm here just to do that, be the best version, achieve my potential. And I know her blessings are with me.
No doubt about that, Bansuri, and you've learned from the best.
Thank you so much.
You know, I want to remind the viewers that Sushma ji, your mother represented South Delhi in the Lok Sabha twice. Yes. and the Horse Cars Assembly in the late 1990s. She became the first woman Chief Minister of Delhi, though for a short tenure, in 1998. You must have been young. Do you have any special memories of that time?
I was very young. I was in school, and I have memories of actually going and sort of stealing election billas. You know, you have those badges, sort of, and playing with them, going on campaign trails with everybody, sort of. तब पर्चे बांटने का जो काम होता था, so I was very young. I would actually accompany everybody, go door to door, sort of, requesting people to vote for my mom. And but yes, I definitely one great memory. We used to have a German Shepherd. My mother named him Rakshak. And आप भी जानते हो कि elections में हलवाई बिठाया जाता है. My dog gained a lot of weight during elections. And I still remember उसको घर का खाना पसंद नहीं आ रहा, मतलब बंद हो गया था. He, I think, only started eating only halwai wala khana. So we had to wean him off election food and bring him back to a very healthy diet.
Amazing. So clearly he got well versed in electioneering as well, I'm guessing.
Oh, he was anyway a diva. I remember when Ma was the spokesperson, she was the first woman spokesperson of any national level political party. And I think Rakshak was part of every interview. Yeah, but he was a majestic beast.
That must be a very special memory. But you know, talking about having big shoes to fill, it's not just Sushma ji, your mother. You are a candidate from a seat that has been represented by the BJP's founders in the past, Atal Bihari Vajpayee and LK Advani. So tell me honestly, Bansuri, does this make you nervous?
It doesn't. Because there is something which is very common between Mananiya Atal ji or Sushma ji or any of the stalwarts that have come before me. They were all Karyakartas of Bharatiya Janata Party, and so am I.
Wonderfully put, I must say. Now, you know, the BJP has won the New Delhi seat that you're going to contest from consecutively in the last two elections. However, all the MLAs and a majority of councillors in the area belong to the Aam Aadmi Party. Do you see that as a likely challenge going forward?
No, because the people of Delhi are disillusioned by the Aam Aadmi Party. This is a party that was elected on an anti-corruption plank. Today, they are drowning in corruption from head to toe. I can canonize a number of ghotalas, whether it is the liquor scam, whether it is the classroom scam, whether it is the spurious drugs scam, whether it is the false pathological test scam, whether it is the Delhi Jal Board scam. The people of Delhi are disillusioned. And the fact that the Honorable Chief Minister, Shri Arvind Kejriwal ji, sort of flouted 9 summons, and he actually ensured, he created these kind of situations where the investigating agencies had to come and take him away for custodial interrogation. Amongst the people of Delhi, his credibility has been eroded. And that is why not only ab ki baar 400 par in 2024, I think even in 2025, the Vidhan Sabha elections, the Aam Aadmi Party is going to be unseated from Delhi.
They're going to be unseated from Delhi. That's a very big statement you've made. But you know, since you're talking about Arvind Kejriwal, I have to ask you this question. Recent days have seen some very dramatic political developments in the national capital. The Chief Minister is in the custody of the Enforcement Directorate. He's refusing to resign. He says he'll run the government from jail. The BJP is demanding his resignation. And then you have the Aam Aadmi Party and the India Alliance saying this is nothing but a political witch hunt on the eve of the Lok Sabha elections. The centre has unleashed its investigating agencies to systematically target, victimize and persecute the opposition. How would you respond to that?
Completely false. I'll answer both the questions. So first, the whole aspect of the Honorable Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal ji not resigning, it is shocking and it is appalling. This is a leader who used to actually preach morality to other parties and other leaders. Today, on the grounds of morality, he ought to resign. His tall claims of running the government from jail are going to actually be detrimental to the interests of the people of Delhi. He ought to resign. Now, regarding the claim of misuse of investigating agencies, there are two aspects to it. I know that the India Alliance makes these tall claims against the Bharatiya Janata Party, but they are forgetting that first, the investigating agencies are doing their job, and second, whether it is trial court, whether it is High Court, or it is the Honorable Supreme Court of India, there's a number of judicial orders. It is the judiciary of India that has found that the investigating agencies have established prima facie evidence of corruption against the Aam Aadmi Party leaders. And that is the reason why one after another bail orders are being rejected. In fact, recently, Mr. Manish Sisodia's curative petition was also dismissed by the Honorable Supreme Court of India. It is the judiciary that is finding that there is no political vendetta. And I want to ask the opposition leaders, you may not have faith in the Bharatiya Janata Party, but of course, nobody can challenge the fact that the judiciary of India is independent. And I know that even the opposition has a lot of faith in the courts of the land. So, the investigating agencies are only doing their job, and it is the judiciary of India which is finding proof against all these leaders who are actually paying a price for their corruption.
Okay, you know, I don't want to dwell too much on that, but of course the counter argument made by the opposition leaders to that is that one, most of them have been thrown behind bars without a conviction, leave alone, not even a trial. And two, that, you know, the PMLA law, which is invoked in most of these cases, is so draconian that it's virtually impossible in any case to get bail. But
I want to respond to that.
Okay.
I want to respond to that. The first summon that was actually sent to the Honorable Chief Minister of Delhi, Mr. Kejriwal, was in November 2023, right? And then series of summons were sent. If you remember the kind of excuses that the Honorable Chief Minister, Mr. Kejriwal, made were not just election centric. They were, I remember he actually did not adhere to one of the summons saying that he is going away for a 10-day Vipassana workshop. Today they are crying foul about the timing of it. Please try and understand, this entire situation has been orchestrated by himself. He is responsible for it. He has not adhered to 9 summons, and the PMLA law is very clear. Section 50 subsection 3 of the PMLA Act says that whenever a summon has been issued to an individual, it is mandatory in law for that individual to adhere to those summons and respect those summons and present himself before the investigating agencies. Every time you dishonor a summon, you're creating a new offense under section 174 of the IPC. Like I said, this entire situation has been orchestrated by the Honorable Chief Minister himself. He is responsible for the situation himself.
Okay, let's see how this plays out in the election, because the Aam Aadmi Party would be hoping that probably it will create a sympathy wave for them. But of course, we know how the BJP has performed in the last 2 Lok Sabha elections, sweeping all the 7 seats. So let's come back to the election, Bansuri.
I'll just answer on the sympathetic narrative.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
The sympathetic narrative that the Aam Aadmi Party is creating is again one of falsehood. Yesterday, the Honorable Minister, Mr. Saurabh Bharadwaj ji, did a press conference regarding Mohalla clinics. I want to ask them, these are the Mohalla clinics which were shut during COVID. These are the Mohalla clinics where the Honorable Chief Minister did not pay attention and substandard and spurious drugs were actually distributed to patients. These are the Mohalla clinics where the Honorable Chief Minister, Mr. Kejriwal's administration did not pay attention and false pathological tests were actually conducted. More than 20,000 ghost patients were created with false mobile numbers. This is the Mohalla clinic where actually doctors did not diagnose patients, but administrative staff went ahead and diagnosed patients. You actually played with the lives of people of Delhi. Today, you're actually creating a false sympathetic narrative only for your own political gain. That's not fair to the people of Delhi.
All right. As far as the cases go, I guess we'll have to wait to see what the judiciary feels, and ultimately, as far as the People's Court is concerned, I guess we will find out when the results are declared on the 4th of June. But talking about your constituency, Bansuri, it's a very high-profile constituency, New Delhi. According to you, what is the biggest issue in this election in your constituency? And if you're elected as an MP, what is going to be your top priority?
So first of all, I don't think any constituency is high profile or low profile. When you go into an election, every constituency is equally important. Every booth is equally important. Every voter is equally important. One of the major things that I want to do is actually ensure that the government schemes of the Modi administration, which, you know, it's so sad that every other part of India is getting benefit except for Delhi. For example, Ayushman Bharat. Ayushman Bharat is such a groundbreaking government scheme being brought by Modi ji. 5 lakh rupee worth of medical cover is actually being presented, and other people in Bharat are benefiting. But Mr. Kejriwal, the Honorable CM of Delhi, did not allow implementation of it in Delhi. And that is why Delhiites are not getting that benefit. So one of the things that I'm definitely going to do is ensure that whatever means are necessary, even if it means knocking the court's door, I will ensure that all of PM Modi's Jan Kalyanakari Yojanaएं, they reach the last person. And look, we are inspired, we are Bharatiya Janata Party Karyakartas, we are inspired by the philosophy of Antodaya. So no person left behind. This is going to be one of the major issues. And other than that, the vision of the Honorable Prime Minister of youth-led development and of women-led development really resonates with me. So whatever needs to be done will be done to ensure that the youth and the women of the constituency are at the forefront. Something like bringing in a startup hub. I'm inspired by Startup India. I'm really inspired by Stand Up India and by the Lakpati Didi Yojana. So I have the vision of actually starting a startup hub where people come with an idea, and then whatever is required to fructify that idea, equipping people with that knowledge. You know, what are the compliances? What are the legalities? How do you need to actually make a presentation deck? How to connect with angel investors? In fact, maybe the focus can also be on SGH, on self-help groups, telling women how to register it, ensuring that there is economic empowerment of the youth and the women of the constituency.
Interesting. So you want to reach out specifically to the youth and women, and you want to implement the welfare schemes of the Modi Sarkar if you are elected as an MP. But, you know, I want to ask you this question differently, Bansuri. There is no doubt that Prime Minister Modi remains the most popular leader in the country. He's won 2 huge consecutive mandates in the country. And the BJP has also swept all the 7 Lok Sabha seats in the last 2 elections. However, when you go to the electorate in your constituency and you seek their votes, what would you say to them? Why should they vote for Bansuri Swaraj?
So, first of all, these are national elections. So, local issues sort of take a backseat automatically. Even when you go to the electorate, they also want to discuss national issues. The fact that there
would
is
you say Prime Minister Modi will be a big pull?
Of course. This is it is the election of Modi ki guarantee. Okay. And I tell you, we back it up with work. There is a 10-year report card of the Modi administration that people have before them to assess, and there are 2 aspects to it. One is jo kaha wo kiya, fulfillment of all promises, whether it is abrogation of Article 370, whether it is actually building of a Bhavya Rama Mandir, whether it is implementation of CAA, whether it is bringing the Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam and bringing 33% reservation in favor of women in both Vidhan Sabha and Parliament. This is the aspect, I mean, literally the epitome of promise fulfillment. And on the other aspect, the whole vision of a Viksit Bharat. Every Bharatiya wants to see a developed Bharat. You know, it has been unheard of before. One used to go and literally go to a bank or go to a government department and the file would be pushed from table to table. This is the first time that the Modi government has brought the Viksit Bharat Sankalp Yatra. All the government schemes are coming to your doorstep. You come there, you want an Aadhaar card, there is a counter. You want Mudra Yojana, there is a counter. You want PM Swanidhi, there is a counter. It is the government that is coming to your doorstep. It is unheard of. And I'm telling you, come on the campaign with me and see the way it is reverberating and resonating with the people of Delhi.
I certainly hope to accompany you on the campaign trail one of these days, Bansuri.
I look forward to it.
But let me ask you this question. You know, the BJP has dropped 6 of its 7 sitting MPs in Delhi. Some would say that, it betrays nervousness on part of the party and is designed to counter anti-incumbency. Critics might also ask, so were these MPs then non-performers?
No,
what would you say to that?
This is a very, very unfair assessment. Very unfair assessment. हमारे यहाँ टिकट कटता नहीं है, मिलता है. There is no question of dropping anybody. I'm telling you because it is पद नहीं है, दायित्व है. It's a responsibility. You are supposed to discharge that responsibility to the best of your ability. And if the baton is passed on to someone else, then you absolutely guide them and ensure that they do their best. That's all that there is to it.
All right. Well handled, I'd say.
It's the honest truth.
Okay.
It's the honest truth. You want to talk about my constituency itself? I can actually send you a link to show you that the sitting MP has done marvelous things.
Just that questions would arise about why the top leadership did not think that they deserved another ticket, but we'll leave it at that.
It's not a question of deserving because maybe the top leadership has something, a more enhanced role in their mind for someone else. That's it.
Okay.
See, किसी ने नहीं कहा कि उनके राजनीतिक जीवन पे पटाक्षेप हो रहा है. Again, these are, I think.
दो ने तो कह दिया कि हम retire हो रहे हैं politics से.
Then that is their choice. That is their choice, and everyone is allowed to hang their boots. Ma also hung her boots. There is a time, if you remember, in 2019, when her health did not permit, she said, it's time to hang my boots, and so she did. So what? Everyone is allowed to call it a day. There is nothing more to it.
Okay, so don't question their performance is what you're saying. Bansuri, I need to ask you about a question which is topical. It's an issue that's been making headlines for the wrong reasons, unfortunately, over the last few days. Actor Kangana Ranaut, just like you, is taking the electoral plunge. She's joined the BJP. She's contesting from Mandi in Himachal Pradesh. And there was this very objectionable and distasteful social media post about her recently, though of course the person in question, the Congress leader, denied putting it up in the first place. But that apart, needless to say, it's caused quite a controversy because it's very distasteful. As a woman, Bansuri, honestly, I feel that we women are at the receiving end of a lot of sexism, misogyny and vile comments practically in every field or area of work. But perhaps it's a little more pronounced in politics. As a young woman who's now taken the political and electoral plunge, honestly, your take on this sort of sexism and misogyny that we see, especially in Indian politics, and hand on heart, Bansuri, isn't it true that almost every political party in this country has leaders who've been guilty of this?
So first of all, I would like to congratulate Kangana ji. I think she is she's such a fantastic performer. I'm in awe of her craft. So I want to first congratulate her. मुझे लगता है भारत की बेटी हैं जिस पे हर भारतीय को नाज है. I love how fearless she is.
She is.
Her
There's no doubt about that.
fearlessness is infectious. So I want to take this moment and through you congratulate her, and I want to actually express my gratitude to our leadership for bringing such a fearless woman to Indian politics. And what a well-deserved ticket. On the aspect of extremely distasteful remark which was made, I think the Congress party owes her and all the women of India an apology, especially because Srimati Sonia Gandhi herself is a mother of a daughter. I'm sure her conscience would not have allowed this kind of a comment for any daughter of Bharat. Regarding the leader who made this comment, I want to know, Supriya ji, very respectfully, she is a chairperson of the Congress.
She actually says she didn't put up that post, someone else did. Someone who had access to her account.
It's an excuse. It's an excuse, it's an eyewash. And I say that with utmost responsibility, because Supriya ji is a responsible human being, and she is somebody who is the chairperson of the social media department of the Congress party. if she cannot protect her own social media handle, if she is not responsible for the kind of venom which has been spewed against Kangana Ranaut ji from her social media handle, then I want to know who is responsible for the Congress party's social media in its entirety. You cannot shake off responsibility like this by saying, I didn't do it, somebody else did. There is a sense of collective responsibility. You are a national party. It actually reflects the kind of anti-women mindset of the Congress party. It was appalling. It was really, really appalling. And I know that you and I both were appalled with the kind of distasteful remark that was actually posted with a picture. Undone, unbecoming. And Congress party needs to actually respond with an apology.
They should respond with an apology. Of course, the Congress party has hit back at the BJP saying, look at all the comments that have been made about Sonia Gandhi over the years. You know, look at the kind of comments that BJP leaders have made about other leaders like Mamata Banerjee over the years.
So it's going to be a question of whataboutery without taking responsibility?
I believe that
that's exactly what it is.
Make a right.
No, but absolutely. So this kind of a response is only about whataboutery. It's not about taking responsibility. It is not about, but then I'll tell you what, it is not just about an off-the-cuff remark which was distasteful about, a leader of our party. It is also about their constant silence against Sandesh Khali. They have been absolutely silent about the horrors that have been suffered by the women in Sandesh Khali. Even in Delhi, there is an Aam Aadmi Party leader who has been accused in an POXO case, where he has misbehaved with a minor daughter of another Aam Aadmi Party worker. Both Aam Aadmi Party leaders have remained silent, and so has the Congress party. It just shows that the Indie Alliance, for their own selfish political gains, will actually sacrifice national interest and will continue to be anti-women.
Okay, you calling them anti-women. We'll leave it at that because I'm guessing the political war of words will continue in this election season. But final couple of questions, Bansuri, before we let you go. Of course, the BJP slogan and NDA slogan is "Ab ki baar 400 par." You really see that happening?
Absolutely. Because like I said, it's not a slogan. नारा नहीं है, संकल्प है. और इस संकल्प को सिद्धि तक लेके जाएगी भारत की जनता. It's not a slogan, it's a pledge. Like I said, come with me on the campaign trail.
I'd love to.
Today, I took a Sujhav Peti and walked through Motinagar market. My God, people were actually showering flowers even on the Sujhav Peti. You should have seen the kind of love, adoration, and the kind of unwavering commitment that people have towards this pledge. Ab ki baar 400 par.
अच्छा, तो पार्टी ने संकल्प लिया है. If I may say, बांसुरी स्वराज, सुषमा स्वराज की बेटी ने क्या संकल्प लिया?
अब की बार 400 पार. बांसुरी स्वराज भारतीय जनता पार्टी की कार्यकर्ता है. उसका खुद जो भी है, उसका सब कुछ पार्टी को समर्पित है. मैं एक बहुत ही अनुशासित सिपाही हूँ और मैं आपको बता रही हूँ, जो संकल्प लिया है विकसित भारत का, जो संकल्प लिया है अब की बार 400 पार, फिर एक बार मोदी सरकार, इन तीनों संकल्पों में पूरी सुदृढ़ता के साथ बांसुरी स्वराज खड़ी है.
क्या बात है. Final question, Bansuri. I have to ask you this about your mother. I mean, you know, it must be hard to talk about your mother. It's the most special relationship in the world, I think, the mother-daughter relationship. What are some of the fondest memories of your mother? And also, what is the biggest lesson, let's say the political lesson, that you've learned from your mother?
It's not a biggest political lesson, it's the biggest life lesson. Yeah. Life lesson. Be fearless, be yourself, be unapologetically yourself, and have this faith in God. अपना काम करो, बाकी सब कृष्ण देख लेंगे. And that's exactly how I am working towards every goal in my life.
Well, I can say one thing. I don't know which way this election will go. You're making your debut. But clearly, you get your fearlessness, your feistiness, and your oratory skills from your mother. I think that is quite evident.
So kind of you. Thank you.
Bansuri, Here's wishing you the very best for this election.
Thank you. Very
Thank you
kindly.
so much for talking to us.
Please, my pleasure. Thank you.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you, Bansuri.